Okay. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Oh, these aren't my notes. That's because I don't have notes. That is not how you begin a speech. When you are ready to speak to a group of people, you have to take command of the situation from the very first second you get to the front of the room. Because if you don't, everybody in the room is going to immediately discredit you. They're going to start looking down. They're going to start fumbling through their own papers. They're going to think about what they had for breakfast, what they want for lunch, and what they're going to have for dinner. The last thing they're going to think about is what you are saying to them. That is why it is important to be prepared from the minute you start. And the very first thing you want to do is to immediately start focusing on your audience. You want to make eye contact. In a room this small, it's very easy to single out each person and make eye contact. But if you're speaking in front of 500, 1,000, maybe 2,000 people, you're going to have to let your eyes wander and roam the room. You don't want to do it like this, because you're going to start to get a headache by flipping your head back and forth. But you want to slowly take a chance of making sure that you get around to pretty much the whole room. If you have trouble looking people in the eye, you can look at their forehead. They're still going to think that you're looking at them. What you don't want to do is come to one side of the room, make eye contact, and while you're talking, immediately walk over here and then come and say something really fast and go right back to the other way. Because now, forget about your headache, your audience is going to have whiplash. You're going to lose them. I heard a speaker the other day who was phenomenal. I say heard, not saw. The reason I say heard is because I could not watch him. Within about 3 minutes of him talking, I started to think about ballroom dancing. I thought I was watching an episode of Dancing with the Stars because this is what he was doing the entire time. I watched for about 3 minutes, then I started looking down. He kept coming over here to hit a computer and change the picture on the wall. He only had 8 different screens that he showed us. I spent a lot of time looking at those 8 different screens. I could probably remember all 8 of them at this point if I wanted. But when he wasn't dancing around like this, and he would come out here, he started swaying. At one point I started to imagine what would happen if I got up from my seat and went up to him like this and asked him to twirl me around once. I think everybody probably would have enjoyed that. The other thing that's very important to do is to stand with your feet planted firmly. You do not want to lean to one side. We're not the Leaning Tower of Pisa, guys. We are speakers. We have to have our shoulders back, our chest wide open. If you stand like this, people are not going to think that you have any authority on the speech that you're delivering. Nor do you want to walk up and lean over and talk to your people. We're not reading a story to a bunch of 5-year-olds. If you're speaking to adults, you need to stand with the presence that you are in control. You also don't want your hands down here. You want to have your hands by your side, not in your pockets, gentlemen. I actually did wear pockets, but this is not how you're going to see me stand while I'm giving my speech. You do not want to play with your fingers, flick your hair back, and you definitely don't want to wipe the sweat off of your forehead. You may be sweating while you're giving that speech, but you don't want to show it. Let your forehead glisten, okay? If you absolutely have to, try to find a way of doing it where people really aren't going to notice too much. One of the very important things when you're talking about body language is to realize you can tell an entire story with your body without any words. People do it all the time. It's called pantomime. And it's an art that everybody should practice at least once. Give yourself a really good story to act out. I'm going to actually give you a demonstration of it right now. I'm going to portray 3 different people having the exact same situation, but with different characters. And then I'm going to actually ask you a question because I want to see if you were able to figure out what it was that I was doing. And we're going to start with person number 1. How many people got that there was somebody dead over there? And did you get that he was the fiancé to all three of those women? This was the pantomime. This was the basis of the pantomime that I coached my daughter and her team on to victory at their championships with. They got straight superiors. There was actually a fourth girl who came in at the end. The deceased wasn't really deceased, but he was engaged to 3 pregnant women. He wanted out. Little did he know that the fourth one, who was a floozy, who came in after, he got married right then and there. She was pregnant too. So he didn't avoid anything. But you see how easy it is to convey a message with body language. Now, using that body language with words. For example, the first person might do something like this. Oh my gosh, how could you leave me? I can't go on, we're supposed to get married. Now, this is it with just the words. Oh my gosh, how could you do this to me? How could you leave? We were supposed to get married. You see the difference that it makes when you put your body language, your facial expressions together with the words that you're using. That is why it's important to practice. Practice in front of the mirror. Practice in front of your family. Practice in front of your dog. They probably already know that you're crazy. So if you're standing there pacing in a room, talking out loud to absolutely nobody, they're going to get it because chances are you probably already do it. You're in Toastmasters, you like to speak. Your family and friends are used to hearing you. So they are a great sounding board for you to practice what you're doing. The last thing that I want to talk about is the importance of really making your facial expressions fit what you're saying. For example, if I came in here and told you about somebody passing away, you'd think I was crazy. And if I came in here and said, I just won the lottery, you'd probably call and have me committed, which might be welcome. But it's very important, as you can see, to have your expressions and your body fit your speech. Thank you.